Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whitetails and Whiskey YouTube channel. Now, for these ones, we're going to do a pre-recorded single-take show, so there's not going to be any edits, anything like that. It's just going to be giving a fresh crack to a bottle that I got here at the bar. Getting into my collection pretty good right now. Holding off on buying any new bottles at this time, unless I see something that I just can't live without. But I have a huge selection here, and a lot of stuff that just hasn't been open, quite frankly. So what I want to do is start this series called Fresh Crack Fridays. And these are going to be done through the Bullhorn app and then uploaded to the YouTube channel on Fridays or whenever I can get them done during the week. Maybe I'll do one or two in a night and then post them up. They're going to be released every Friday is the plan. So, and I'm trying to think of an idea to blend the whitetails into that. So maybe we'll do I've done a trail cam and tree stand Tuesday on my Old Tin Cup channel, my habitat consulting and property design and hunting consulting company that I started back in now 2013 2014. So going on 9-10 years old now for my company. So and that's kind of where this whole idea started. Was I found this book from back in 2015, this 33 drams of whiskey book that I had, and this is pretty cool. And actually, one of the first ones that I tried in this is a sister whiskey or same company whiskey to Tin Cup whiskey. I tried this back on 12/1/2015. So, coming full circle almost 8 years later from when I started, drinking and collecting maybe some of these whiskeys. Funny story is Iron Smoke's in here, which is a nice local one. Buffalo Trace back when you could buy it. Everybody talks about it, but I remember being able to buy Buffalo's Trace, and Eagle Rare and all that stuff right off the shelf. And it was cheaper than a lot of the other stuff locally that I wanted to try to drink, being a New York guy. And we're going to feature some New York ones on this Fresh Crack Friday. So we're going to jump right into it. This one is a bottle I did not buy. This is one that I did a little bit of trading for, kind of call it a gift bottle, whatever you want to call it. And it's right over here on the west of the Rocky Shelf, I guess we'll call it. And like I said, this is the sister product to the Tin Cup whiskey that I first tried. It was one of the first ones I ever tried in my book. So this is Tin Cup 10-year. It's an MGP sourced bourbon and 10 years old. Got the signature Tin Cup, which is famous for what they used to drink out of in the mountains and the mining towns. I believe it's in Tin Cup, Colorado, is where the distillery is. Comes in at 84 proof, I believe. Yep, 42 times 2 gives you 84 proof. So a little bit lower proof for a bourbon maybe than I like, but we're going to crack this. This is our Fresh Crack Friday first bottle, is the Tin Cup 10-year for us to try tonight. I would sip it out of the cup, but we'll pour it in the glass and then pour it in our nice tasting glass so we can be able to smell it. So really cool little shot glass cups. I got a bunch of them from the Tin Cup whiskeys that I bought over the years. I really did enjoy that whiskey. I guess they make that regular, the blue label one, I call it, or the original. They make that one with their sister company that's in Colorado as well, and also mix it with MGP. So here we go, guys. Here's the cork pop on the Fresh Crack of the Tin Cup. We take its little necklace off, and quiet on the set. What a pop! That's what you like to hear. So we'll dump our nice little tasting right in the Tin Cup 10-year top. I feel like this is a pretty healthy pour in this cup. I don't know how many ounces these are. I don't know if they're a full ounce and a half or what they are, but so cool little shot glass top or whatever it is, ounce and a half top probably. But yeah, cool looking bottle, and I really like this bottle because my consulting business is Old Tin Cup, or Old Tin Cup, OL' Tin Cup. So I thought this was kind of fitting. I actually was the one that suggested Ryan's Liquor order these in, the blue label one back in the day. and they ordered a whole case of it in, and I ended up buying 3-4 bottles out of that case. So like I said, this one was a gift, but I think you can get this right around 55, probably $60 MSRP, which for a 10-year is not that bad of a price point for a nice bourbon like this, especially NGP uh, source juice, so to speak. So let's check it out. Pretty dark, but obviously you're gonna get that 10-year, but then diluted down. I mean, it's still pretty dark for a um, nice 10-year bourbon in that. So, and this is a little bit higher rye bill for a bourbon. Kind of dark. I'm almost getting like a plum smell, almost like a weird, different kind of plum smell, different kind of plum kind of with it, and maybe like I don't know. It sounds kind of weird, but kind of smells like those like almost like an artificial grape, like those scented markers that you might have had in grade school. Getting like yeah, like a grape marker. Sounds weird, but a grape marker and plum kind of nose to it. So let's test it out. We're gonna do it neat, and then I'm gonna put just maybe half a cap full of water in it and try to see if we need it. But I don't think we're gonna need it. 84 proof should be pretty easy going. So yeah, kind of get that grape marker, and I get a lot of plum with it too, kind of like a plum pit, stone fruit kind of smell. So let's take a sip here, see what we think. Hmm. So I get a little bit more of that rye spice. Um, hits pretty good up front on the spice. Kind of lingers finish. You're gonna feel it go down. No real spread with that, quote Kentucky hug or what people call it, anything like that. So kind of it's lingering, but kind of a flat and plain finish on it. Um, would really probably be expecting more, but again, it is an 84 proofer, so they did knock it down quite a bit. Um, like I said, though, I definitely got that a lot more of that kind of rye, spicy sharpness, baking spices kind of taste there. And then in the end, I don't know. We'll take another sip, see if we can pick a little bit more out of this thing. So we'll see here. Second sip. It's still getting that plum and that grape scented marker. That's what I smell in it. So yeah, not too bad. Um, like I said, a little spicy up front. You can definitely feel it go down, and then I want that if I'm getting that nice that deep kind of feel with it, get down in my chest. I really like to feel it go across my chest and kind of wrap you up like that Kentucky hug. And you get that more in that 100 proof, 115 proof kind of range. And I'm just not really getting it with this. I almost would like to see this a little bit hotter. I'm not going to put any water in it. Well, I'll put just a little couple flicks of a finger of water in it to see if I can open up any of that plum flavor that I'm kind of smelling. But diluting it down, we might have lost some of that flavor when they diluted down this tin cup to 84 proof. Again, it's a little bit lighter than I normally like, but this was one that a good friend and listener of the podcast, Craig, was able to find. I've seen it once on the shelf here, but not one that I see a whole lot. It is a limited release, being at 10 years, so there's not that many barrels, um, you know, out there that are 10 years old MGPs that are sourced to be put in this. So try another sip here before I put a little water in it, see what we get. Hmm. See, I did get a little bit of grape there. So I swirl around my mouth a little bit, coat my tongue, coat my mouth up a little bit, and I kind of got a almost like an artificial grape kind of taste with it. I don't want to say Pepto Bismol, that's not the right term, but like those grape tums, almost kind of like that flavor with it. But again, at the end, it's almost like a sweet kind of syrupy kind of taste with it too, which is all right. It's something that's a little bit different. It's definitely one that I'm gonna not put it at the bottom of my list for drinking, but it's not gonna be a daily drinker, I don't think, for me. So I'm gonna put I guess we had about maybe a half ounce so far. We got about an ounce down left in the bottom of that glass. I'm gonna put a little cap of Dasani water in there, and we'll see if it changes it at all. I just do this because I'm, nerding out a little bit. I want to see what I might come up with for different flavors. And typically with this is what I'm doing when I have a higher proof whiskey or a bourbon that I'm drinking. One that I really, really recommend, you cut it down just a touch and it's absolutely phenomenal. We'll talk about it maybe in a future one, is this Alberta Premium Cask Strength. Comes in at like 130 proof, super, super hot. But if you can knock it down with a half a cap of water, just a little bit off the top, that stacks right up there with some of my other favorite higher proof stuff like the barrel proof wild turkeys and stuff like that. So let's get this, give it a little swirl, a little bit of that water in there. You can kind of see it if you ever put water or ice in your whiskey. You see it kind of gets like an oily film in there where it's kind of trying to mix itself into the solution. I usually try to get that till it's just about where you can't see it anymore, because otherwise you'll get inconsistent kind of flavor with your whiskey and your water. So let's try it. Now we got it knocked down just a touch. Knocked it down way too much. Way too much. That's just way too watered down now. So I think at 84 proof, I think they got it about as low, obviously, as you can go. Being at 84 proof, but I don't think I would even probably put this with an ice cube or anything like that, or some crushed ice, anything like that. I think it's right about where it needs to be at 84, and probably would like it a little bit higher of a proof point for this type of flavor profile. I think they could do a lot more and pull a lot more flavor with it. But what I will say about it is, if you have somebody that wants to come over, wants to talk about a cool bottle, cool story, likes the connection with my consulting company being Old Tin Cup, try some Tin Cup whiskey. It's not my whiskey, obviously, but it's one I'd like to share with them. It is west of the Rockies, so you do get some different flavor profiles with that. I will say that on my west of the Rockies shelf, this one's not at the bottom, so that's a good thing. The thing is with it, though, would I go out and maybe pay the $55 for it? Probably not again. This is one, though, that'll be on my shelf. So if I ever want to drink it, or if anybody else wants to drink it, or wants to try something when we're doing different tastings from different regions, this kind of definitely has its own taste, that MGP sourced juice in it. And the other cool thing is the story with all these whiskeys, whether it was a family heritage one, or something that was in a fire, or a pre-prohibition company, anything like that. These whiskeys all have different stories, or how it all happened and whatever. Some of the cool things about the Tin Cup is kind of the history of the Tin Cup being what they drank their water and their whiskey out of back in the pioneer days, kind of paying homage to that, as well as bottling it at 5,251 foot elevation, which is something also really cool. Really, really cool bottle. They cut it with Rocky Mountain water. So I've never had Rocky Mountain water right off, so I couldn't tell you if that's maybe what I'm tasting in it. But I think they could go a little bit higher with the proof on it. And that's kind of my honest opinion on the Tin Cup 84. At $55, 56, whatever you're maybe getting it for, I don't think it's a bad buy. But I think there are maybe some other bottles that just fit me a little bit better. But for an easy sipper, something that's cool, if you want to get one for your west of the Rockies kind of, region or whatever, in your selection of bottles, or, at your home bar or whatever, I think it's a great addition to it. I do enjoy this more than the Blue Label. I will say that. If I had to buy one of the two, I would buy the 10-year over the Blue Label for another $20 more, just because the Blue Label is a little bit high rye for me, and I got some really nice ryes that I would rather prefer over that. This one, actually, you don't get too much of the rye with it. Maybe that's because it's proofed down a bit. So I'm going to actually try to take another sip of this now that I cut it down way too far. Yeah, I see. I just cut that down way, way, way too much, unfortunately. Yeah, that's not, I wouldn't recommend putting ice or water in it. Um, I think it's really good the way it is, and I think it's a great neat sipper the way it is. Not a whole lot of robust flavor to really stand up in an old fashioned, or um, maybe you might be able to get some of that spice in with like a ginger ale. I do like my whiskey and gingers with that kind of rye kind of bite. Um, Kind of the smoother vanilla ones I'll do with a Sprite or a Coke maybe, or something like that if I am mixing up some of my whiskeys. But at $55, I don't know if I'd be mixing this. I think on straight up, or maybe with a big ice cube or something to, you know, but it doesn't need it. It's at 84 proof. It's a great sipper neat. And I think that's the way that I would enjoy this one, is with the way that I like my whiskey. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Fresh Crack Friday. We're gonna give it a little top off finish. And yeah, and we're drinking out of the aged and ore glasses. That's what we're going to be doing all of our tastings out of. And it's what I take my samplings with to family events and functions, holidays. I was real big this year. So, and we want to know what you guys might want to see on these upcoming, Fresh Crack Friday videos. There's a lot of stuff up here at the bar that's not cracked. Some of it obviously isn't going to get cracked till probably my birthday in July. So we might do a fresh crack before my party on Saturday for my birthday. But there's a lot of stuff in here that hasn't been cracked yet. There's a whole bunch of bottles up here. Some of these won't be cracked maybe for the show, for the fresh crack, but you never know. If you see something that might tickle you, there's a whole other shelf down here below me. There's a whole well section down here, kind of the different section shelves. But then the Wild Turkey, there's a couple Elijah Craig barrel proofs up here. Bond and Willard and WB Schaefer, those will probably be ones that we might do in an upcoming one too. So if there is something you guys want to see cracked, by all means, let us know, or let me know in the comments below, and what you think of this Fresh Crack Friday. I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, this is how I do all my videos. They are one-take videos. We don't set up, reshoot. If you hear the dog whining upstairs or walking around, toilets flushing, whatever, I'm in the basement of my house here at my bar, filming this up. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'd probably rate this at a 7. Not a bad one. Not one that's going to knock my socks off either. But I think it would be a good addition for anybody that is maybe looking to add one on their shelf for west of the Rockies. If you can find it, and again, being a limited release, those are also cool to have on the shelf, because you never know when they might not do them anymore or discontinue them, etc. So I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Fresh Crack Friday. Drop your comments and suggestions down below. Love to hear from you. Drop a like on the video. If you like what we're doing with the channel, with the Whitetails and Whiskey podcast on Wednesdays, the Fresh Crack Fridays, and we'll maybe be doing another series during the week or every other week, maybe more geared toward deer and whitetails, to kind of balance that all out with the Whitetails and Whiskey podcast. Let us know what you think, or maybe you have an idea for us. Also, hoodies are in. If anybody's interested, $45. We have the green label and the brown label available. I'm wearing the original black label tonight while I film this up. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you so much for the support. We can't thank you enough. And hopefully I'll get Nate on here for one of these Fresh Crack Fridays. Again, these are nice. We could film these anytime and then post them up on Fridays. So that's something really cool. But thank you all for tuning in so much. I know I say it a lot, but that's because I'm so thankful for everyone that tunes into these and checks them out. Subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing, and hit that little bell notification so you know when we're going live with the live podcast or updating and uploading one of our new videos. So thank you again, and I'll catch y'all next time down here at the bar or wherever we're drinking, enjoying time with friends and family. Take care, everyone.